Hello, everyone. This is Morris Jackson with Religion, Economics, and Politics. And look, I just want to share a quick word with you. This morning I want to talk about leadership. Recently, I experienced an issue in my own life, my own professional life, should I say. For those of you who don't know, I am a director. I'm responsible for security, emergency response, crisis management, and business continuity. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. As a leader, it's easy to lead when times are good or when things are going well and people are cheering you on and patting you on the back and telling you how great of a job you're doing. But when troubling times come, and they will, that is going to be a true test of your leadership, and how you respond is also a testament of what type of leader you are and to your character as well. I recently experienced a situation that was very costly to our company and just really hit us all out of the blue. And I have to say, I felt the weight and the impact of that event, and I really did not know what to do. And I sought the Lord because God knows all. So who better to go to in times of trouble? God gave me this scripture, the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 48. And it reads, "From everyone who has been given much shall much be required." Now, that is a scripture I've read many times, and I've just kind of mulled over it. But you really don't understand or appreciate the gravity of that scripture until much is required of you, especially in a position of leadership where you're responsible for others, and others are looking to you for guidance and to lead them through a tough situation. And after I read that scripture, I understood what needed to be done. I picked up the phone, I called our CEO, and I said, "Sir, I understand the impact of this situation. You have my commitment to make sure that everything that has happened, that we are going to put things back in order, and we're going to build it back bigger and stronger." And totally out of the blue, I didn't expect this, but my CEO said to me that he had total confidence in my leadership. And in fact, he was going to double the resources that he had allocated to my department to ensure that I had what I needed in order to make the necessary adjustments and address the situation. I was shocked. And at the same time, I was very grateful and I was thankful to the Lord, because I knew that through his guidance and his wisdom, that the way this situation was handled, it would have turned out totally different had I went with my own thought or my own way of doing things. Now, I think of one other time when we talk about leadership, and this is something also I thought about whenever I was kind of mulling over whether I should even call the CEO, and even what I was going to say once I called him. I remember one time I went whitewater rafting. Yeah, I went whitewater rafting. I thought I'd try something different. I was a little bit younger then, but I learned a valuable lesson from whitewater rafting. The natural inclination is when you see rough waters ahead to try to steer away from it, but that is actually the opposite of what you should do. The instructor says, no, don't try to steer out of it because you'll flip over, you'll capsize. What you want to do is going to be counterintuitive to your flesh, but you actually want to dig in and paddle into the rough waters. And that is the only way that you're going to come out on the other side victorious. And you know what, though? But we listened to the instructor, we dug in, and as crazy as it seemed to us at the time, we steered right or paddled right into that rough water. And you know what? I mean, we were tossed, left and right, and it seemed really rough, and it was a bumpy ride. But you know what? We came out on the other side, and we looked back, and the waters were calm, and man, everybody cheered and raised our paddles up in the air. We did it. We did it. That's what I'm encouraging you to do when you start to experience tough times. Dig in. Don't try to steer away from it. Dig in and go right through it. And you will come out on the other side victorious. Well, I hope this blesses someone. I know that it has blessed me. And I want to encourage you all. You stay in prayer, be blessed, and stay encouraged. It's Morris Jackson with Religion, Economics, and Politics. I'll see you next time.